you doing, you idiot?
I found this, I'm not having a stroke, I've just found this really good new music scene. I mean, down the East End, down Shoreditch, down Whitechapel. Oh, it's like old rave, but it's new rave.
Oh, excellent.
I'm on my way to go buy some glow sticks, I'm going to get my hair stuck up, you know, some paint on the nose, some luminous clothing.
So if you couldn't have guessed, this week's episode is band genres we could have done without.
Terrible music that we never want to hear again.
So, first up is your one, Sean, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a top 5. Number 5, stool rock.
Which I actually thought he meant to do number 2.
Well, it's not too far from the truth, actually. Now, in the kind of mid to late 90s, and it crept over into the noughties as well, you got this kind of rash of very serious, over-earnest young men who were into their kind of Jeff Buckley types, you know, singer-songwriters, and Nick Drake, but never as good as any of them.
No.
You know, and they basically decided to do gigs that were completely un-rock and roll by sitting on stools, you know, not just a drummer, the whole band, bass player on the stool, singer, drummer, obviously, guitarists, you know, and no personality. Bands like, do you remember The Unbelievable Truth? They were, basically it was Andy York, it was Tom York's brother.
During breaks.
During breaks, all these
I didn't mind, actually.
Coffee tables, really. Coffee table rock is what we're calling it. But stool rock sounds slightly more, actually stool rock sounds more rock and roll than it was actually, because it's coffee table bands, you know. We don't want to see them back again. And you know, one of the problems was that it crept through into bigger bands. So you go and watch these big bands, and in the middle of their concerts, they all suddenly do an acoustic session and sit on stools. You know, so we don't want to see our band sit on stools.
No, there's only one type of band that sits on stools, and allowed to sit on stools, and that's Boyzone. So the next one is another one of your hot ones. It's Grebo.
Grebo, which I think was actually coined by Steve Lamacq, indie guru. You know, Grebo, I can remember being at university and also in my time in sixth form. Grebo came out of the Midlands, and it was, you know, it wasn't, which says it all for a start, doesn't it? No, I guess Midlands, you know, Black Sabbath, didn't it, you know, but Grebo was crusty rock, wasn't it? It was rock for travellers or Trastafarians who basically went to university on their parents' money, decided to grow dreads.
It's like a music scene born out of Glastonbury, I guess.
Awful. Dreadlocked hair, Dr. Martens, you know, shorts. Basically, the band sold more t-shirts than they sold records. Led to Atomic Dust in and the Prime Offenders, they're reformed. Pop Will Eat Itself, you know, the Wonder stuff. You know, I'm okay with the Wonder stuff. I think they're a bit more snappy and a bit more, you know, the lyrics were cleverer and they're a bit of a cooler band, weren't they? But Grebo, no, never want to see it again. You know, any genre that's named after something from Fraggle Rock is
just not good. No. So number 3, we've got a bit of a controversial one, the New Romantic movement, which, first off, is responsible for the most heinous crimes against fashion ever. So that's one reason. And 2, some of the most appallingly cheesy, horrendous music.
You never want to see singers wearing pantaloons, do you?
No, or swinging off yachts in a grotesque manner of mass capitalism. That's you, Duran Duran.
Yes, Rio, snorting drugs probably off the back of a boat.
Yeah, probably completely single-handedly responsible for the death of millions of people in what's it called? Bolivia. That's where the naughty stuff's from, isn't it?
So, New Romantics. Some of it was good, though. I quite like ABC.
I like Visage.
Yeah. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I quite like that.
So
I just didn't like the makeup. Men that like women, and that's just not good.
Basically, you're saying, New Romantic. Oh, it means nothing to me. What next then?
And then we've got another music scene which is kind of born out of a really appalling fashion. Nu-rave, woohoo! I've got a bee in my bonnet about this one because I've always hated nu-rave.
You hated old rave as well?
No, I didn't hate old rave. I was a bit of a, I was kind of into that.
So it's not like old labour, new labour, it's...
No, it's not that. You know what, part of the fact is the problem with the name. There's a few good bands I like that are kind of considered nu-rave. I think the Klaxons are awesome, for example. But I don't know how they can call themselves nu-rave, and I also hate the kind of people who like nu-rave. It's like, even if nu-rave was good, which I could never admit to, I would never admit to being one of those people who likes it, because the kind of people who like it.
Do you know my
Nathan Barley.
Yeah.
Nathan Barley.
My problem with it is the spelling as well.
Yeah.
Anything new that is spelled N-U.
It's like new metal. Oh, that's another one I hate. That ruined metal. I used to be a right little madder, and it got ruined by Korn and System of a Down and rubbish like that. We've got a 4A and a 4B now.
So basically anything, we've got some categories going on. Anything new that starts with NU So there we go. And what's number one then?
Number one this week for us is grunge, which I know there are millions of suicidal teenagers out there who've grown up to have families now who think we're horrendous for saying this, but...
I didn't wear this shirt because of grunge, but I guess if I had a pair of combos I could probably get away with being a grunge looking man.
Do you know, I've got something so horrendous to admit about grunge.
What's that?
When Kurt Cobain died, I was around my friend's house, I was probably, what, 13, 14, and her brother came running in and said, Kurt's dead, Kurt's dead. And I said, oh my God, not Kirk Hammett from Metallica, I love Metallica, because I'm never going to see them again. And when he explained it was Kurt Cobain from Nirvana, I said, oh, that's alright then. That is a terrible thing to admit, I do realise, but still.
You know, Nirvana, the best of a bad bunch, even though I'm not much a fan of Nirvana.
Soundgarden, no. Pearl Jam, no. Mudhoney, no. I think, you know, the Meat Puppets, no. Only famous because they're buddies with Nirvana. Plus they knocked all of the glam and rock and roll out of rock music, like kicked Guns N' Roses out, didn't they? That was the end of that. There was no more debauchery and, you know, LA nastiness. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's miserable, but it's misery without humour. If you are going to have some miserableness, like I do, of an evening, I want to put a bit of humour into it. I want, you know, your Nick Caves, your Morrisseys, they did misery, but they did it with a bit of humour. Grunge, no humour in grunge.
And why do you want to be so miserable when you're young? You know, surely grunge was a movement made for really old people who should be depressed. I mean, you shouldn't be depressed at 19, should you? If you're going to have fun, being rock and roll, not sat in cutting holes in your jeans and jumpers. So, the one music scene we wish never ever to be revived is grunge, so you've hit it in the first.
I'm going to go home now, do you know why?
Why?
Because I hate myself and I want to die.